to another episode. A bit of a cold one this morning. I know a lot of you in the UK are probably starting to notice the difference with the cold weather moving in. With that as well, we've taken all the locos inside. Anybody that hasn't, maybe bring them inside with the sub-zero temperatures, but we've taken ours inside. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning up on them, bit of gluing in places that need sticking. But onto the layout, we want to make a slight little confession. We are kind of perfectionists, so we did our inclines. As you can see, our old one is down here. We really weren't happy with it, so we've gone ahead and bought the Woodland Scenics subterranean incline set. The only issue with this is it's a lot higher. It's now 4.5 inches. So because of this, we've now had to raise our 2 levels, our side in the corner, going across the bridge, which we've made plinths for that, and onto this board over here. Now, we kind of might just give up giving you, saying this is our plan, because everything's changed. As you can see, we've also moved all our buildings over here. Rob has created another layer as well. My farmer's also moved. I don't know, for someone who isn't into woodwork, I think he's done extremely well, contoured it with the table as well. He's done a brilliant job there, I think. So just a catch up with everyone. Obviously, with the temperatures this week, there might not be as much done. We are going to try and do little bits inside, but in terms of the sheds, there might not be much done this week, as I'm sure you can understand. Rob is going to go through with everyone just the sticking down of the inclines. What we like about them is it's just completely smooth. You can curve it very easily. As you see, they have the cuts into them, so we can mould it with the track a lot better as well. But enough of me, I will leave you on to Rob now. I'm going to go inside in the warm while he finishes this next bit. Take care, guys.
Excuse me, just climbing up on the board. So our track we need to locate in place. It's fairly easy to locate the actual support because it butts up against the side there. So just trying to hold this in place. Just run a pencil down either side. Has moved a little bit. And bear that in mind when it comes to gluing. Because what we're going to do is we're going to move this out of the way. And the tile adhesive does actually come with its own spreader, which is a little bit handy. So we've got our 2 lines there, as faint as they are. So we've got the adhesive. I'm hoping this really works. So we'll just give it a go. Now whether you want to follow the instructions actually on the adhesive itself, which says 1.5 millimetre thick, but I think that's probably too much for the application that it's being used for here. So I'm just going to make sure the entire run's covered, but not at 1.5 millimetres thick. Now, I hope you're all keeping well. We could do with a bit of sun really, couldn't we? Here in Wales we are experiencing sub-zero temperatures overnight, which is why I have brought all the locals inside, because we all know they're not the best fans of hot, cold or anything like that. So they're inside, a bit of maintenance, which isn't a bad thing really, is it? But again, as always, we do really appreciate all of our followers. We do take on board sort of 98% of the suggestions that we've given. We had the lovely one about the manhole cover. We've had others about the locos, the track. And it is all appreciated. We're not the sort that's going to get grumpy because someone says, oh, you're doing this the wrong way. You know, just come in to us and say to us, I know you're doing it like that, but with my experience that I've got, I think you should do it like this, or this is the way you could do it, just to make it a little bit easier on yourselves. because the whole basis around our layout is I've not touched trains since I was about 13 years old, which is however however many years ago. I'm not going to divulge that. And I have absolutely no experience in making tracks. I've got no experience in doing any woodwork. My dad was always the one for the wood. I think it might have skipped me, but I'm beginning to think that I'm not doing too bad with what I've done. I've had lots of compliments of Grace, but I think she's a little bit biased. But yeah, I don't think I've done too bad with it. There's always someone else out there that could do a lot better. I've no doubt of that. Some of you out there may have years of woodwork experience, and I do bow to your knowledge, so any feedback you can offer on anything like that is appreciated, because we really do prefer people tell us the best way to do things. But it's all a learning curve for us. Not so much for Grace, she's already into her art, so she's doing all, like she says, she's doing all that, and she's quite pleased that she's got her little entire raised farm area over there. That seems to the right. It does say that it's set between 10 and 15 minutes, so I'm quite surprised that's already feeling a little bit solid. I still might put some weight on it. I think I will actually, if I can find something in this shed with a bit of weight, one of the tool cases or something. But yeah, that's the first one down. But then obviously once we get into the scenic side of it, you can see all this polystyrene here. We're going to be backfilling the polystyrene, maybe having a hill down here. I'm only saying maybe because, as you probably watched if you followed all of the episodes, everything's gone out the window. I'm not sure how it is with you guys. Would love some feedback on that. If your plans have ever gone to plan or you've changed them, please drop a message in the comments. But ours is very much, it's very, very fluid. When you sit there looking at something, you think, you know what, I think that'll be better there, that'll be better there. The only thing that has set in place is our little heritage centre. We were actually, we were having issues with the carriages. And we went on to, I think it's the Model Railway Network Facebook page. There's a very lovely gentleman on there, turned around and said, same carriages, same issues. He took them apart and he got some, what's the word I'm looking for? Tyre weights, wheel weights. So they've had some wheel weights put inside them. They've not been run yet, as we said, we've put them inside. And I'm not bringing them out here in the freezing cold because it's, I think at the moment it's what, 11:30 in the morning and it's still only 3 degrees outside, so they can stop inside. But yeah, I appreciate comments. Again, it's hints like that. We do appreciate them. We don't take it the wrong way. Going back to the manhole, we didn't take that the wrong way because it was a absolutely brilliant suggestion. But yeah, so that's in place. Might not actually need any weight. No, I think that's going to. That's all right where it is. I don't think I can force it down. Nothing's coming out. No, happy enough with that. So that's one down. I'll lay the next couple down through hyperlapse with a hyperlapse. I don't want to bore you too much. And then we'll go into the one and only curve on this outside incline. I'll probably do that as an ordinary one, just to show my thoughts on how actually holding the curve while it's there. Okay, catch you in a minute. Hello again. Right, so that's the first three set up. I've got to admit this stuff set actually goes really well. It's quite tacky straight off with, so I'm quite impressed with that. Whether it melts the foam or not, I'm praying that it doesn't because it is a non-solvent. So now we're going to tackle this corner. Now, no doubt someone has got a much better idea on how to do this with corners, much more experience and everything. I'll just try and zoom in there a little bit too fast. But I've got to deal with a curve, and it's just on the outside of the manhole, which is quite handy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the adhesive down, put the curve in its place, and I'm hoping my idea of putting a few screws in the back behind just temporarily, just to hold the curve in place while the glue goes off. But here goes nothing. Hello again, right. So that's the first 4 pieces down. Oops. I've just weighted them down with some toolboxes that I've got lying around. You might have seen on the curve itself that I actually had to readjust it a little bit because I didn't fully compare it with the actual rail itself. So yeah, that's one thing going forward. Always make sure you compare it to the line of the rail and don't do what I did. But as I said, I'm just kind of an amateur at it. This is the first time I've attempted one of these things. I'll go ahead and lay the last 2 pieces down myself now. We won't bore you with more time lapses. And then let these set, and then I'll do a video either later or tomorrow just giving a sort of general review on it. But like I said, this is Woodland Scenics 6-piece 3% grade it is, and it's obviously a lot more tidy than cutting your own gradients. Okay, so I'll catch you in a bit. Just one final quick bit. So that's it all in place. I'm using, as you can see, various different toolboxes that I have just to weigh it down while the actual glue sets. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't matter too much on the bits of glue on the outside, because they're all going to be it's all going to be decorated anyway, because obviously I'm not going to leave the actual incline bare as is. But yeah, so far very impressed. As I said, it's a Woodland Scenics kit. I bought this from Amazon, but Grace was doing one of her lives the other day, and a kind gentleman there recommended a couple of places, which are Hatton's and Rails of Sheffield, which I did take a quick look at the time, and I'll be quite honest, just one item that I found was actually £2 cheaper. So yeah, might be worth popping into those two if you're local to them, or doing your shopping online. But yeah, Woodland Scenics Incline, so far very impressed with the quality. Right, catch you later guys, thanks very much, bye bye.